Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back again to another installment of the Damaged Goods After Dinner Mix. I'm your host, Early Bird MC, and joining us today on the couch for the artist profile is DJ Jools. What's happening, player? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a DJ and a producer, and I enjoy drum and bass, different styles of dance music. I like the whole scene as a spectrum, but yeah, known as a drum and bass DJ and producer. And I love all sorts of dance music as well.
Fantastic, and that's true. This guy kills it on the jungle mixes and the drum and bass massive. Much love. So, why don't you tell us who some of your biggest inspirations have been as far as DJing goes?
I have a lot of artists that I've grown up with that I've been listening to for a long time, and people like Crust, DJ Die. I've got mates who produce as well. Like, they've given me a lot of guidance, and they've given me a lot of like showing me how to do certain things that I didn't understand that were technical, and they've taught me a lot, and that's been my biggest influence. Actually people being appreciative of seeing me develop and actually making my music, my ideas, sound better.
Nice. So it's all about progression at the end of the day, right? And looking up to your peers and the people that are around you, because proximity is power. So what you surround yourself in is essentially really important in what you're trying to do as an artist. So that's fantastic, man. So you said you're a producer as well. So why don't you tell us, we'll get into the technical aspects a little bit and tell us about some of your favorite plugins that you like to use and your, how you produce and what you like to produce on.
I use FL Studio. I have never really dwelled into any other programs. I've used Reason a little bit. Never really used Ableton, but FL Studio is my main, the program that I like to use mainly. And there's a plugin called Citrus, which is my favorite synth in the entire FL engine. But then I use Silent as well, which is a VST plugin, universal one. There's a lot of really cool production tools that you can use to make different sounds, but those are two of the main ones for me.
That's dope, man. Citrus, it sounds like a really sweet plugin. No one? All right. So you've been playing out for a little bit, right? You've been playing out, doing events, for a little while, a bit of a seasoned vet. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your first event and how'd that turn out for you?
I started playing my first club gig 5 years ago, and that was for a night at Eurobar, which did a house night on a Thursday night, and that was Euro House, and I did an electro set. It did the opening set, and it was to a pretty rowdy crowd. It was actually quite good to see people from the street just walk in and check out what was going on. And yeah, it ended up being a pretty busy night, for a Thursday night. And unfortunately, the event didn't quite take off where it needed to. It only happened maybe 3 or 4 times after that, and then it never really went further with the same promoter. But at the same time, it gave me an opportunity to play out, and yeah, haven't looked back since. I've been doing radio shows, doing various events, different nights, and I've done house nights as well as drum and bass nights.
Fantastic, man. Euro House at the Euro Bar, that's what's up. Now, your first event, were you nervous? And do you still get nervous when you play out sometimes?
I was very nervous that night, and I didn't realize that we'll be using a controller. At the time, I thought we were going to use CDJs. So to me, I was that was my first, playing on CDJs in a live audience. But then having a controller there with Tractor made me feel more comfortable and more at home. So it kind of, they calm my nerves down. But I always get nervous before a show. It's one of those things where is a natural thing to happen. You gotta wrap your head around performing. So it's good fun though.
Nice, man. That's good to hear. It all adds to the excitement of performing right when you get a little bit of nerves. So what are some of the things that you use to get in the zone and calm your nerves before a set?
I actually have a bad habit of smoking, like chain smoking before, like when I'm nervous. Yeah, you know, so like when I'm really nervous, I just like chug ciggies. Like, you know, and like that's like if you ever see me like just like one after the other, like this dude's nervous, eh?
Oh, that's the best answer. And a really good way to fight the nerves apparently is chain smoking, ladies and gentlemen. So if you ever feel like, you know, you got the nerves creeping up on you, make sure you get a 30 pack. All right. Now, why don't you tell us a little bit more about how you originally got into DJing? Like you were inspired by your friends as far as the production aspect and that goes. Like when did you get on the decks and start mixing?
When I was at school, I got introduced to hardcore techno by a friend at school. And because I was learning the keyboard at the time, you know, it was a natural thing where like I wanted to make music, but also being a DJ to me was like a dream, you know, like being able to perform and play music that I enjoy to other people who would enjoy it in the same way. And you know, like part of the culture, like we're like ravers, you know, like it progressed from listening to techno to actually going out to events and then experiencing different types of like dance music. And first time I had a go on the decks was through a mate who used to mix jungle, and I'm still mates with him at this point. So like he's someone that knows me well, and he was my main inspiration because like to me hardcore was something that I didn't really want to mix, like it was something that I used to enjoy listening to, but jungle to me sounded interesting to mix, and then watching him mix is like I want to learn how to do that, and that's how I got into it.
Right, now hardcore means different things to different people. So for the listeners at home, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what hardcore you're talking about exactly?
Hardcore techno or gabba. Yeah, right. You know, like a real heavy kick drums.
Yeah. That is hardcore. That's hardcore right there. So now, why don't you tell us a little bit about where your DJ name came from, DJ Jools. How did that come about?
Over the years, I've thought of different names to use, but then to actually have a stage name, people call me Jools, you know, like Julius, yeah. Like, but then someone at work used to call me Jools, you know, because that was like calling me Jools, but then I pronounce my name with a H, you know, like that's how it would be spelled in English. And I thought about like the different ways you can say my name. So I thought this spelling will actually, you could actually say it different ways, you know.
Awesome, man. So it's a legitimate nickname. It's an offshoot of Julio or DJ Jools. And it's been such a pleasure having you on the After Dinner Mix with us and joining us on the couch for the artist profile. And thanks again, everyone, for tuning in again for this edition of the After Dinner Mix with the Damaged Goods crew. I'm your host, Early Bird MC. And for this week, signing out. Catch you on the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.